Hey, Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be the first part of a three-part series where we're going to talk about our top tips for filming when you're out swimming in the sea. In this first part, we're going to focus on the equipment that we use, the different cameras. Part 2 is going to be our top tips for filming, and part 3 is going to be focusing on the accessories that we use. Now, with so many options to choose from of cameras to film when you're out at sea, the easiest one to choose is going to be the one that you're probably always going to have on you, and that is going to be your trusty phone. Now, even though most modern phones are water resistant, I still would always recommend using a phone cover, especially when you're out in salty water, because the salt water can still play havoc with the charging mechanism. So I would use a waterproof phone cover like this. Now, the problem with it is you will not get the best audio, and also, even though you do get a fairly good image through the cover, it's still not going to be crystal clear. But your phone is a great option and something you're always going to have on you. The second option that we do use here is going to be something like a GoPro, you know, your traditional action cam. This is a bit of an old one, but I do use it nowadays as my backup cam. These work great. You can get them for a pretty decent entry-level price, and the quality of them, depending which one you get, is incredible. There are lots of different options out there that you can get. My favorite go-to camera is the one I'm currently filming on, and that's option number 3, and that is the Insta360. I currently have the X3 version that we're filming on now. The great thing with this camera is you don't have to worry where you're pointing it. It's going to pick up everything. It picks up a full 360 degrees like this. And so you can just point, shoot, concentrate on your swimming and choose the shots afterwards. The only downside is choosing which shot to use when you get out of the water. One thing you do have to be really careful with these cameras is that the lenses protrude on both sides. So if you do even just lay it down to rest on a rough surface, and I have done this before, you can quite easily scratch the lens. Now, your fourth option is take to the skies. Drones are a great way to get really epic shots, but they do require quite a steep learning curve to learn how to use them. You can't use them in the windiest of conditions, and of course you do need to be a little bit careful flying over water, because if anything does go wrong, that's a lot of money that's probably going to be laying at the bottom of the sea. But the results are incredible. You do have to be careful of where you can use them, because you have to be careful of aircraft overhead. Most of them do come with guides, and you do now in the UK have to be able to pass a test to be able to use a drone. Now, you may have seen as well, sometimes we get those incredible shots that are half in and half out of the water. These are done using a dome. They're these big plastic domes that you can place a GoPro inside. You then submerge half of it under the water, half of it outside, and you get these really incredible, cool shots, and they're really unique and super impactful. So there you go. Those are the 5 different pieces of equipment that we use to take our shots across all of social media. Each one has a specific use, they each have their own benefit, and I hope that will help you decide which one is going to be suitable for you. Don't forget, we're going to do a part 2 where we're going to go through some of our techniques that we use when using these different bits of equipment. If you do like this content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. It doesn't cost a thing. And until next time, happy, but more importantly, safe swimming.